All right, guys, welcome in. This is Cohort 9. Welcome to your second week of your 4-week coaching program. All right, you guys, give us some noise, make some noise. That is the most quietest noise I've ever heard. I can't hear nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, make some noise, and y'all were like,
She said the quietest noise. Silence.
I see your mouths moving and I see y'all clapping, but there was no noise coming. I was like, what?
We had to get off mute. We were on mute.
Okay. All right, you guys, welcome in. We're so elated to have you here. Welcome to those of you who are watching in the replay. We were just talking pre-show. Don't ask me why I be acting like this is a whole production. Okay, y'all are my co-hosts tonight. Welcome. I'm Brenda Cotton Waters. I'm a marketing strategist, a business and branding coach, and a self-proclaimed purpose pusher. I am going to be your coach along with Coach Q over these 4 weeks to help push you into purpose. You and your kids, we're going to help you plan, write, create, and publish your very first book. Okay, you guys get excited about it. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes.
We were just asking a question pre-show. We're talking about how did that coming soon post feel for you guys? And we had some people chime in. And Carlos just finished wrapping up, and he said something very, very pertinent. And he was like, when he put it out, people were asking him, like, what is it? What's coming soon? Like, that's amazing. And he was like, whoa, like people are, so you guys always think that nobody's watching your post or liking your stuff or nobody's listening to you, right? You're like, nobody's liking my stuff anyway. Why am I posting? When you do stuff like that, you really are liking it, huh? Or you really are watching, you really are reading my posts, because nobody ever says anything. When you start posting things like that, people are like, what you got? What's going on? Tell me more. So you see who's really watching and reading, right? Whether they like it or not, or comment or not. Someone else said they put out a coming soon post and they were in their late 50s, and people were like, are you pregnant? It's like, no. So like Carlos and so many other purpose pushers here, you guys, you have gotten the ball rolling. You can't stop now. The ball is in motion, and you got us and the people in your life who's going to check you. Okay. Everybody's going to check you. They're going to check in, like, what's going on? So that is the point of that exercise. That homework was to do what you guys just said. It was to bring up the fear. It was to make you sit and really check in with yourself, and to let you know, get to that innermost part of yourself that lets you know that you're worthy and you're worth it. A simple post did a lot of things, right? Brought up some fear, some hesitation. It brought up some of you were questioning, like, was it good enough? Did I do it right? I've never posted on TikTok before. Was that some of you guys' first post, like online, like TikTok or Instagram, or whose first post was it? You can unmute yourself. Let me know.
It was my first post on TikTok.
And who's speaking? Tell us her name.
This is Dawn.
Dawn. Y'all give it up for Dawn.
Good job, Dawn.
Anybody else? First post?
This is Melissa. It was my first public post. I've always posted to private friends.
Wow. How did it feel, Melissa?
Vulnerable. I'm an introvert.
Did you say it felt what?
Made me feel very vulnerable. I was worried about what people might say.
Wow, that's amazing. Give it up for Melissa. Did it, girl. Anybody else?
That wasn't my first post, but I had to learn how to follow directions again in life. Follow you instead of, getting my own direction and going to the wrong path. So that was hard. So I had to realize I did the wrong way, and then I had to redirect myself. This time I'm following all the way.
Awesome. Y'all give it up for Christine. Give it up for Christine. That's amazing. So do you guys see bit by bit, step by step, we're going to be helping you address your fears, deal with them head on, and feel the fear and do it anyway. Right. So a lot of you felt that fear. You're like, but it's my homework. I'm committed to this. I got to do this. And you did it. And now you're over it. So now that you've done it, every week from here on out, we want you guys posting something on your social media relating to that. It could be something like a picture of your laptop, you know, just not the whole thing. You might be working on an image or something. You post a picture, you take a picture, you sideways image. Like, this is so exciting. I'm having so much fun creating this. And people are like, what is she talking about? Or you can, you know, like post a picture of you know, a notepad and a pen, and you're writing. You just take a picture of it. Like, wow, so much is coming up for me now that I'm going through this process. People are gonna be like, what process is you? People are nosy. I'm just like, people are nosy, you guys. We need these people in our life, because when your book finally does launch, they're going to be so excited because they've been invested in the process the whole time, because they've been following you along the way. So at some point when we get closer to you guys launching, we're going to walk you through how to do that. And you're going to be like, hey, tomorrow is coming, it's going down. And they're like, what? You've been talking about this for weeks. What? So they're going to be super excited and super proud. They're going to be really proud of what you guys are releasing to the world. So get excited about it. Get excited about it. Woo, 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 woo. Y'all are going to be published authors soon. Your children are going to be published authors soon. Amazing. So tonight, as I said, we have a fully packed night. Fully. So I need you guys to lock in. If you need some tea, if you need some water, if you need whatever you need, we need you to get what you need and lock in, because we're going to go over a lot of information. If you have questions about your homework, write it down or put it in the chat, and we'll try to address that. So tonight we're going to be talking about novels, and we're going to touch on storybooks and coloring books. Okay, so you guys, thank you to all of you who submitted your homework. Your storybooks and your coloring books are going to go to the next step now that you've submitted your homework. If you did not get a chance to submit your homework, just try your best to get caught up. Those of you who had coloring book homework, you were supposed to submit 25 images. And those of you who had storybook homework, you were supposed to submit your storyline. And I think that was it. So tonight we're going to talk about novels. Anybody here writing a novel or a memoir?
This is his first card. He bought it in 1980. She was wrong.
Nobody?
He drove it from 84 until when?
91.
Wait, let me check the chat. Is nobody, everybody's doing coloring books or storybooks?
But the engine.
Okay, Melissa, no problem.
I'm doing a storybook, but the goal is to write a poetry.
Okay.
I did give time to get the card. The store, brought it home. We were having issues with it.
Yeah, I eventually.
I'm so sorry,
I
Leah.
eventually.
We're sending you love and light. Can you guys mute for me? Okay, someone said they have a novel idea. All right, if nobody here is doing a novel, we won't go over it, because I don't want to waste our time if that information is not applicable.
But when you press them, it takes a long time.
Hi,
So I'm reading
Brenda.
the chat. Yes.
It's Heidi. I was going to do a novel. Sorry, I'm in my car. Daughter's gymnastics. But I was switching over to a storybook just because I wanted to get rolling and get moving on things. But in the future, I'd like to do that. So I don't know where we would find that information, but
Okay, no problem. I just don't want to, because we have a full night. I have a novel idea doing a storybook for now. Okay, perfect. Since we don't have, normally we have at least 1 or 2 people who wants to do a novel, but let's go ahead and move on to the storybook stuff and the coloring book stuff, and then we'll get into the main part of tonight's class. So is everybody
It's
familiar?
hard to hear you because somebody's not muted.
If we can get everybody to mute, please.
Somebody
We
has-
got a hot mic. We're hearing background noise from a television. If everybody could mute, that would be awesome. Is that better? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, a lot better.
Much
Oh,
better.
awesome. Perfect. All right. So, storybook people, are y'all excited that y'all got your stories done?
Yes.
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 Okay, so let's talk about developing your characters, okay? So everybody, are you guys comfortable using AI now that you kind of had a chance to dabble with it? Maybe you've used it before, but is most people in here comfortable with AI, ChatGPT?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with storybook authors first, and then when we say storybook, you guys, we're using that interchangeable with children's book. So if we say storybook or children's book, we're talking about the same thing.
Can
Okay?
I ask a question really quick?
Absolutely. Who's
It's just
who's
a question that I would like to get answered. I was trying to do the pictures to go along with the storybook, and I was using Mid Journey for it. And I guess what I don't understand is how to get the characters to be uniform for each page. Like, say for instance, you have certain characters that you like, you found a picture that you like, but you want to continue to use those same characters and but have them be doing different things in the storybook. And so I was just hoping maybe we could get that question answered tonight.
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to do.
Thank you.
What I will tell you guys is that Midjourney is awesome. It's challenging if you're trying to do a specific image, like when you're uploading an image of your child or maybe an image that you created on AI and you're trying to get that image to to be in different character settings. It is a little challenging to do it in Midjourney with a specific image, but we're going to show you how to create an image from scratch that's not necessarily based on the image of a real person. And we're going to teach you how to do that tonight. But we're going to be using ChatGPT. The other thing is, if you find that you can't get what you want, not everybody's going to be able to illustrate their books themselves. We're going to recommend that you guys reach out and connect with a illustrator, and you can find illustrators on Fiverr. So the reason why we say that is that some of you have some very detailed books, and it might have several characters in your book, and you need those characters interacting in a special way. So the way that we teach you all is that we're going to give you the skill set to create and illustrate as much of your book as possible, hopefully the entire book. But if you can't get the images that you want, you're going to still illustrate your book. And then you're going to reach out to an illustrator on Fiverr and say, hey, this is my book. These are the illustrations that I have, but I need page 4 and 5 to do X, Y, and Z, and I need 7 and 8 to do X, Y, and Z. Can you help me? Are you able to work with me? There are some illustrators who do not like AI. They're just totally against it, and they will be like, I don't like AI, that's fine, move on to the next person. But if you have illustrators who are open to working with you, usually you'll send them some of the images that you've already created and then ask them if they will be able to give you the results that you're looking for. Once you find your illustrator, you will hire them to work on the project with you, and then they'll usually give you a time frame to have it done. Now, the good thing about this is that, what's the difference between the two? So ask me more, Lanita. Illustrations can cost anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more. So we have some people in our program, they're like, I don't have the time. I can do my storyline, but I don't have the time to do my own illustrations. They'll just hire someone to do their illustrations. It's up to you guys how you want to go. Now, the method that we teach is we try to keep the cost as low as possible. But for some of you, you're like, I don't care. I'll just send my story. I'll send my images and let the illustrator take it from there. Totally up to you guys. And it all depends on what your budget is. All right. So those are the two options that you have. Now, we do have some people like, they don't want to work with ChatGPT at all. They're like, I got my story. Can I just find someone to do all the illustrations? You can go that route as well. So you either can do all of the illustrations yourself in AI. You could do partially half yourself and half with an illustrator, or you could do just the storyline and then have an illustrator do all of the illustrations. Okay. Lanita, you're doing a novel? Didn't I just ask y'all? Lanita, are you doing a novel? Did you come in late? She said, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I love it. She said, what's the difference? They're usually the same. The novel, memoir is usually more about yourself, about your life. And a novel could be like fiction and nonfiction, just a random story. What's the name of working with an illustrator? Fiverr, fiverr.com, fiverr.com is where we recommend you guys connect with illustrators. We do have people in the prior cohorts who have used illustrators. So if you guys want to ask for recommendations, if you think you're going to take that route, we do have some of them. A memoir was going to be more about your life, Lanita. Are you writing a memoir? She said, okay, yes. All right. If we circle back, I'm gonna try and go over that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with the storybooks, and then we'll do coloring books, and hopefully we can circle back to the memoirs. All right. Does everybody understand the difference between illustrating yourself, working with an illustrator doing partial illustrations, and then working with an illustrator having them do all the illustrations? Everybody understand that part?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. Now, let me talk about copyrights really quick before we move on. You can produce an AI book on Amazon that is fully AI, and Amazon will allow it. However, if you try to copyright a fully AI produced book, the US Patent and Trademark Office will not allow it. So there's kind of the difference between the two if you're asking those questions. So right now, Amazon is saying just disclose that you've used AI and let us know. We don't know what they're going to do that with that information in the future. We're just following the rules that they're setting forth. You guys have to understand that AI is so new and it's changing literally every week. There's something changing and shifting. So this month it might be okay. Next month they might be like, oh, no more AI. So we're just trying to stay abreast of what's happening and try to keep you guys posted and aware on what your options are. As I said, we do have people in the community, they have their entire book illustrated by an illustrator. And when that is done, when it's a human hand touching, creating, designing, you can go to the Patent and Trademark Office and get, sorry, the chat keeps going on. You can go to the Patent and Trademark Office and submit a copyright for that book if it is all done by a human illustrator. Does everybody understand that part? Okay. So for your first book, we usually say just choose the easiest route. If you feel comfortable going with AI, go with AI. But if you're like, I have a series of books, I know I want to have full copyrights, you're going to be the person that chooses to go fully and solely with an illustrator. Everybody understand? Any questions about that? All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. So we're gonna head over to ChatGPT. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
It's up now. I can see
We can
it.
see it.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so what you guys are going to do, we had kind of started doing this last week, but I got ahead of myself. You guys have already submitted your stories, right? So let's go back to that story that we did last week about the little boy who was, he was nervous. It was Adam. Was it Adam? Yes. Okay. So he was nervous. He had social anxiety. He was nervous about meeting new people. So you guys most of you remember the story from last week. He was talking to his parents and they put up little, notes around the house telling him that he could do it. And that he started going to soccer practice and meeting new people and all that good stuff. And he finally got over his fear, right? Wait, no, what just happened? Okay. Got over his fear. So now when you guys submitted your story, we asked you to go into ChatGPT, have ChatGPT write the story, and then you were to go in and edit it yourself and rewrite every paragraph. That's what you sent in for your homework. Now that you have your storyline, we have to develop your characters. So let's just say we have Adam here. And Adam has two sisters. So that first scene might be, a 5-year-old little Adam playing with his two sisters. It could be that, or it could just be Adam by himself in the scene. So you're going to go through your entire story and look at where do you need to have these characters placed? Are they at school? Are they playing at the playground? Are they at a dog park? Are they eating ice cream? Are they running? What are they doing in your story? And then we have to go in and create scenes for each part of that. All right.
Coach,
now, for those of you who are doing, yes.
Coach, there's somebody in the waiting room. It's Kat.
Okay, thank you. I wish this thing would just ding. It's just so annoying. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. Thank you. You guys, yeah, you can stop me at any point to let me know if someone's trying to get in. All right. So Now let's go back to our can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Try to keep this box up. All right, so we're going to go over here and we're going to go to explore GPTs. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I cannot see you guys. I really, really need y'all to talk back to me because I'm like, are you there? What's happening? All right. So we're going to go to explore GPTs. And here's how we're going to create our characters. So we're going to click here and we're going to type in consistent character. All right. So when we type in consistent character, it's going to give us a list of 8 apps that we can use. This is kind of like when you have your iPhone and you can download apps on your iPhone and utilize those. This essentially is what this is. These are just considered different apps that you can go in and try. Now, we don't have a specific one that we recommend. Just find one that works best for you. Oftentimes we'll use this first one. Right now it has about 600,000 reviews on it or likes. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that and click on Start Chat. All right, now we're going to click here to start creating character designs. Okay, so it's going to ask you a series of questions. It says, first, should your character be male or female? Everybody chime in. Are we doing a male or female character?
Female.
Male?
Female.
Female. Great. Now, could you provide a name for your character? Anybody can chime in. What's our character's name?
Lisa.
Lisa. All right. Now, could you describe Lisa in detail? How old is Lisa? What country does she live in? What kind of hairstyle does she have? What is she wearing? And any other specific thing that they need to know about Lisa. All right. How old is Lisa?
14.
5.
Oh, 5. Lisa is 5. Because most of you are writing a children's book, and you have to also think of the age range of your children's book. So if your children's book is going to be from 3 to 5 year olds or 3 to 7 years old or 5 to 7, you probably want to, have your character around that age range. Right. Lisa is 5 years old. Where's Lisa from? Where does she live? Anyone can chime in.
New York.
New York. Okay, what kind of hair does Lisa have?
Curly.
Curly
Speak up,
black
King.
hair. Curly black hair.
Curly. She
Black
has
hair.
curly black hair. I can't hear you guys.
Yep.
Curly
Black hair.
She has curly black hair. Okay. What nationality is Lisa?
Puerto Rican.
Okay. And what is she wearing?
Brenda, you didn't put the curly part though. It says she has black hair.
Thank you. She has black curly hair. She's Puerto Rican. And what is she wearing?
Overalls and a white
Speak up
top.
for me.
Overalls and a white top. I don't know.
What color are the overalls?
Blue.
Is the white top a t-shirt?
Yes.
I can't hear. I'm sorry, guys. Speak up a little more for me.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. All right, so let's read our character. Lisa is 5 years old. She lives in New York. She has black curly hair. She's Puerto Rican. She's wearing blue overalls and a white shirt. What kind of shoes does Lisa have on?
Tennis shoes.
Say that again.
Tennis shoes.
What color are they?
Black.
All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Now we wait. There's Lisa, guys.
How cute.
Wow, she's beautiful.
So now we're
She's so
all
cute.
connected.
I like that.
Because, yes, we just created a child together.
I wish it was that
We're
easy.
connected for life, okay?
Can you go back to that prompt, Brenda? Can you scroll?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So if you guys love Lisa, you are going to give feedback to the AI. We call this like the AI. It's a language learning module. So you're learning every time you respond with it. So if you love it, you're going to give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, you're going to give it a thumbs down. And you're going to say, that's not what I was going for. I'm trying to get the character to look like X, Y, and Z. Some of you are going to nail it your first time. And sometimes you're going to be like, that's not really what I was looking for. Or you might say the character is 5 years old and they give you like a 13-year-old kid. And you're like, no, the character is 5 years old. So you're essentially training the AI to give you what you're really looking for. And so it's up to you to go back in. If you nail it the first time, you're going to type here and say, thanks, this is great. This is great. Okay, you're giving it feedback, right? So it knows you like it. So now it's going to say, you're so welcome. I'm thrilled you love it. Would you like to vary the next images of Lisa, her expression, her actions, or her poses? Now, what we have found in creating character consistency is that when you're working with AI, it's best to go as slowly as possible as you're adjusting their poses, okay? So you can adjust the pose, you can adjust the action or the expression. So what we like to do is kind of start with, expressions like Lisa's sad, Lisa's upset, Lisa's crying, Lisa's yelling, Lisa's angry, right? Those are kind of negative expressions. Or you can say Lisa's happy, Lisa's laughing, Lisa's elated, use those words to kind of get the different expressions. So let's just say, most stories kind of start with, a scene where the person has a conflict. There's a problem. Okay. The problem is Lisa is having her first day of school and she's very, very nervous. So we can say something like, Lisa is nervous. So we wait to see what ChatGPT gives us. Our nervous Lisa. Okay, it's taking forever. It normally doesn't take this long. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we may have to refresh this. It's kind of just processing right now. Let's refresh it and see what happens. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions thus far?
Brenda, this is Dawn. I just did what you did, but I did it for a little boy. And I asked it to change the eye color. It gave me a whole different child.
Yes. That will happen. So you have to be very diligent and patient. Pack your patience because it could definitely change the eye color and change the whole child altogether. So I'm not sure why it's giving us a hard time for creating this next.
I tried it for my character too, and it just now told me like that it's not making any more like changes at all. Like I've reached my limit for the day is what it just told me.
Oh no, have you been on here today?
No, I've never even used the consistent character at all until,
Interesting.
yeah, through you.
Maybe something's going on with it tonight. That's so weird. Let me see if I can open another tab. I don't know if it's
No, I think that's just because she's using the free version instead of using the paid version of ChatGPT. That's why.
I don't think it's available on the free version. Is the consistent character available on the free version?
No.
No, I think you have the paid version. Who was that? Dawn?
I'm the one that said it, Angela.
Angela. Okay, I can't see you guys. So Angela, you said it was telling you that you've reached your limit.
Yeah, and I don't think I pay. How much is it to pay for the consistent character?
It's $20 a month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So this one that we're on right now, guys, is going to show you ChatGPT 4.0. And this is the one that I believe it's about $20 a month. You guys, if you know you're just gonna do the one book, you can pay the $20 and then cancel after you're done creating your books. Some people they continue using it because they love it and they want to keep creating other designs or other characters. So it usually is about $20 a month. So maybe that could be the case because I was assuming that it wasn't even available on the free version, but maybe that's the issue. So let's try this again. We're going to go over here, go to consistent characters. I'm not sure if it's something just going on with the program tonight or if it's. Wish I could just stop this. Yeah, it may just be. Okay, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Okay, so here we go. It's working. But you guys can see that that's not our same little girl, right? She's cute. She's really cute, but that's not Lisa. Okay, so we're gonna
She's
click on
definitely
Lisa.
like 3 years younger.
Right. We're gonna click on Lisa. If this happens to you, hold on, guys. I just kicked myself out. Okay, so this is Lisa, right? So a lot of times when that happens, what we'll do is we'll download the image that we like by clicking here, and we're gonna save it, right? It's gonna save to our device. Then we're gonna go back in, and we're gonna click on attach file, and click on upload to from our laptop. And then this is gonna be our reference, right? We're gonna say, this is Lisa. Lisa is so sad. Let's go angry. This is Lisa. Lisa's angry. So we're giving it a reference and hoping that it'll know to create another image similar to this one and make Lisa angry, look angry. Okay, so it's going back to this little girl, Lisa. So I'm not sure why I just switched up on this, okay? So it made Lisa shorter, but it made it consistent to a previous Lisa, right? We got this one. You see how these two characters are consistent? And then this character is consistent. So we're still like, but this is Lisa. So we can try it again and say, this is Lisa. Lisa. years old. Lisa is laughing. Let's see what they give us. This is Lisa. Lisa is 5 years old. Lisa is laughing. Let's see if it's going to give us this Lisa or our first Lisa. Yeah, so it's sticking. It's sticking to this Lisa. I don't know how it made her. It made her perfect the first time. Well, not necessarily perfect, but that's the image that we really like. So here are your choices. If you're like, I can't seem to get it to go back to this Lisa, then roll with what you got. All right. So if you're like, you know what, I can make this Lisa work, and this is what it wants to keep giving me, then at least this Lisa is consistent, right? We're getting kind of the consistent hair, we're getting the consistent shoes, we're getting all those things consistent. So we got a consistent sad Lisa, we have a consistent kind of angry Lisa, and then we have a consistent happy Lisa. All right, so let's just go with that. Let's not fight it, because nobody really knows what Lisa looks like anyway, right? So we're just developing this character. So we will go and click this Lisa, and we're going to download her. Download and save. All right. Then we're going to go to, that's our sad Lisa. Then we're going to go to this Lisa, our angry Lisa. Download that one and save it. Then we're going to go to our happy Lisa. Download that and save it. Okay. So let's just say we go with, so those are like expressions. If we go with poses, that's Lisa's jumping, Lisa's running, Lisa's, you know, what is Lisa doing? So if we said Lisa is eating a ice cream. Okay, let's see what it gives us. Okay, that's kind of cute, but they changed Lisa's shoes. Now, the one thing we want you guys to note, we want you to note that you don't want to put any name brand images in your books. So we don't want anything that's trademarked in the book. So if you find that it produces images that has like a Nike check mark or something that has a brand, you can go into Canva and kind of remove that. The other thing we want you guys to pay attention to if you are creating either a storybook or a coloring book is that AI tends to make lots of mistakes that are not necessarily noticed. And I don't know if you guys can see the mistake in this image. Yes, she got earrings. Yes, you guys can probably crop that out as well, kind of blend that in. But she only has 3 fingers right here. So those are the types of things you have to have a keen eye for as creators and authors for your books. If you're going to be illustrating your own books, you need to make sure that you're really hyper focused on the small details. All right. So you could use this image if you want. It'd be kind of challenging. This is why, you know, sometimes we do recommend that you guys work with an illustrator. If you're like, I really love this picture, but I need somebody to fix her fingers, or I need someone to go in and make some changes here, change her shoes so her shoes are the same and you know, like these, that's when an illustrator will be able to assist you. All right, so I wouldn't say download this image because we only have 3 fingers on the hand. So we'll try it again. We say Lisa is eating a slice of pizza. And we'll see what we get here. All right. Again, we got 1, 2, 3. We could probably play that off because maybe the other finger is like hidden under the slice of pizza, but you guys can still see her shoes are not completely consistent. She looks like she's getting shorter. Not sure. Is it me or is she getting shorter?
No, she's getting shorter. She's getting younger, shorter.
Shorter and her eye color changed.
Yes. So you guys see the difference. So that's the thing. You want to always make sure you have a keen eye. You make sure that her eyes are staying the same color, and you'll just keep, when I say pack your patience, you guys, this is probably going to frustrate many of you. Like, you're going to be screaming at your computer. I could tell you, everybody in previous cohorts was like, oh my God, I can't do this. There was one of our authors whose book is coming out. She was like, I had to just shut it down, walk away, and come back and pray. And she was like, when I prayed, it's like every image just came back and it was perfect. So please do not get frustrated with this process. It is going to take some time. You are going to have to go back and forth with it until you get all the images that you want. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, all of these are perfect, right? We know that they're not, but let's say hypothetically speaking, they are. So let's start doing some poses. Lisa is running. So you could do running, jumping, skating, you know, what is she doing? What kind of activities?
Brenda,
So again, look at your storybook and find out, okay, Lisa's getting bigger. She's getting taller again, I guess. All right. She got her hair back in a ponytail. She's running. Hair looks like it grew. Okay, so we'll download that one. Lisa is jumping.
If you have photos of the child you want, is there any way to turn them into something like this?
Midjourney is probably the only way to do that, and it is very challenging. Yes, you can do it, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging, and that's when we do recommend working with a illustrator. But Midjourney is the way to go for that.
I mean, just as a suggestion with Midjourney, just like Brenda said, take your time, but honestly, take even slower time than that because you want to make sure that you give every detail. Sometimes, like, because I use Midjourney, even with making little kid versions of me from my own pictures, it makes me white. And I'm like, I didn't ask for that. So you have to just be patient with AI when you're doing this.
But I was
Thank you,
thinking if you show the picture to AI and ask it to duplicate that in like in a cartoon way, would that work? Without distraction?
No, like it
We're like,
won't.
not really.
No, it will give you its thoughts on what they think it's supposed to look like. So, like for instance, I just did something earlier where I wanted a cartoon picture of myself, and I gave the picture of me, right, in my chef's outfit, and it made me a white woman with curly hair. And yeah, so you have to give it, even though you're giving it a picture and saying, I want you to make it look like me from this picture, you still need to give it a proper drilled down description of what it is that you want. And even so, you might not get what you're asking for. So you just need to pull from that and then go to the next steps.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Danielle. That is so right. That's so right. Unfortunately, she's right. You guys, the fact that we can even do this is amazing, right? The fact that we can actually illustrate our own books is like, that's incredible. Because for years, so many people have been on the outside of the publishing industry because of the cost that it just costs just to even try to publish a children's book or a storybook. So just the fact that we have tools and capabilities that we can use, it really is a blessing. So remember that as you're doing it. And as we said, it can be very frustrating, but just think of the fact of, at least you have the capability for doing something like this, where in the past, this was not even an option. So with any of the AI tools, you absolutely have to be very, very detailed. I'm trying to find a screenshot of someone from a previous cohort. We were having a class like this one night, and don't ask me how she did a screenshot of me while I was talking. She put it into AI, and she used Midjourney. I'm going to see if I can share my screen right now. I don't know how she was able to. Let's see. This is what she came up with, just from a screenshot of us doing a class like this.
Okay.
Looks just like you.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said, how did you do that? I mean, look at the hair. Look at this. That is like my signature swirl. I said, how? She said, I had to be very, very specific. She's like, I screenshotted you as you were talking. She's like, I had to get you when you weren't really talking. You were just, she said, I put it into Midjourney. And she had some other ones that came out. I thought that was one of my favorite. That's another one that she had. And then she had this one. So it's not exactly, but it's close enough. I mean, it's close enough to resemble me. So it can be done, but it is going to, as Danielle said, it's going to take a ton of patience, because now then once you get that image, now the challenge is, how do I keep recreating this in different scenes and settings? So if you get frustrated and you're like, I got what I want, at least let's just say you came up with something like this. You're like, this is as close as I can get to my child or me or whomever, whatever image. You may have to then reach out to an illustrator and say, hey, can you use this image as inspiration for the characters in my book? And then go from there. But for the most part, it's kind of hard to take an image like this, download it, put it into ChatGPT or into Midjourney and be like, hey, can you create another picture similar to this that does the X, Y? It's not at that level yet. I think it will be, because it's changing so rapidly, but it's just not there yet. So what she said she did is she took the screenshot, she uploaded the picture into to Midjourney. She used Midjourney, and she said, I literally spelled out, this is an African-American woman. She has, full lips. She has slanted eyes. She has blue hair. Like, you literally have to describe the image that you just uploaded. You can't expect it to read it and then create it. You have to go through details. Like, she's wearing a necklace. She's thin. She's this. She has arched eyebrows. She dictated to the T, just like we do with the t-shirts, to the T what I look like, and that's how she was able to get the accuracy. Does that help?
Yes.
I can't hear you guys.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go back to our character. All right, so we got her jumping, and what's one last pose that we could use? We got her running, we got jumping. What about skating? Lisa's skating. Cool. Okay, what's wrong with this picture?
She got a skateboard and a skate. What?
That part.
She got 5 fingers though.
I want to see how that's done.
But she only got one skate on.
She's going super fast halfway.
But here's what we could do. We could totally go into Canva and like magic erase that, right? And make that a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys got to be creative and be like, okay, can I work with this picture? Like, could I go in and try to remove this in here? That's a possibility, right? Let's see. Will it let us do it inside of this? I don't know. I don't always use the selection tool here in ChatGPT.
She's using the skate as an accelerator.
The things that ChatGPT comes, these AI tools, it's creative. Now, select an area to edit. I've never done this before, you guys. I don't even know if this will work. If we could say remove wheels. I spell it right, wheels?
Nope. W-H-E, yep.
I swear to you, ever since autocorrect, I can't spell a lick anymore. Like, it'll fix it.
I know small words. It's the
Yeah,
big words.
just type it, it'll fix it. Okay, so I don't know what I just did, guys. We are learning together. Like, it has the selection tools. I said remove wheels. I don't know what it's going to give us. Maybe I should have said white space. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. But
my understanding with the edit, this is Heidi, is whatever you're highlighting, you're telling it how to change that part.
Got
so
it.
Be as explicit as you can. So it should do what you asked for. It looks like it did, mostly.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I guess if I would have gone in a little closer, but hey, you guys can edit, small things here inside of ChatGPT. Awesome. Okay. So let's just say, you know, it was perfect and we loved it and we got that little part off. We can download it. Thank you, Heidi, for that. I appreciate that. All right. So we have her in different poses. We have her doing different things, jumping and running and eating. I said, let's not use that one because she definitely got shorter. Did we get this one with her running? Let me download this just in case. Okay. And then we're going to go with, okay, what else? Can't even remember what we downloaded so far now. Let's try the eating ice cream again. Lisa is sitting on a park bench eating a ice cream. Now, sometimes when you introduce new things, it'll go a little crazy for you as well. Because right now we've just been saying Lisa's doing this, Lisa's doing that, Lisa's doing this. Now we are saying Lisa is sitting on a park bench. We're adding another object. It might nail it, it may not, but let's just see what we get. Lisa is sitting on a park bench eating a ice cream. Sometimes when you give it too much at one time, it goes left. So that's why we're always like, do one pose or one expression as you go so that the tool can learn to create the same likeness. Okay, the bench looks like she's 50,000 pounds. Well, I don't know why it's leaning, but hey, it's close.
It wasn't her fault.
It was already broken.
It's already broken. Write it into the story. Make it a part of the scene. Write it into the story. All right, so we're gonna download this. We're gonna pretend the bench is perfect. And then we're gonna go over to Canva. All right, so we got some of our images here. We're gonna go over to Canva. And what you guys are going to do now is you're gonna start developing your layout for your books. So we're gonna go click on Canva. We're going to, you guys are going to get a template for this. So we will put it in the chat for you. But this is going to be a double page spread template. So real quick, find the template that you guys are going to be using.
Brenda, I have a question.
Yes.
So this is Carlos. Well, Noni guy, I think here, but when you go into Chat GPT and let's say you do what we just did, is it difficult to just say like Lisa is there in a park and there's 3 other kids playing? Like, is it too much to say too much going on to be able to do all that?
It's not after you've done like several images of her. Like if you've gotten to where we were, like we've had at least like 4 or 5 images of Lisa doing different things. So it kind of knows that that's the Lisa that you wanted to create. Then you can do that. But if you guys have a book that has several characters, we recommend that you open a separate GPT for that character. So let me show you. So let's say, for instance, Lisa has a brother and a sister, right? So we would go over here to new chat. We would go to Explore GPT, start the process all over, consistent character, start. And let's just say she had a little brother and he was 2. And so you're going to go through that same process. You're going to click here and it's going to say, okay, is this a male or female? You're going to put male. And then it's going to say, you know, great. What is the name of the character? His name is Bob. Is Grace here? His name is Bob. And then
Yes,
it's going to ask you like, Grace is here. Okay, perfect. That was for you, Grace. It's literally going to ask you, okay, describe blah, 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 blah. So you're going to do the same thing for that separate character. If that character has a major role in your story. If it doesn't, you can just kind of wing it like you just asked Carlos. Like, you know, if you know you're going to have the brother and sister just in one scene, you can try to do it in that same chat that you did Lisa in. And you say, okay, Lisa's playing with her brother and sister. Because you may not have to show them again in the book. So it doesn't have to be consistent. So if it's just a random little boy and girl, you're like, hey, that works, go with it. But if you're like, no, I need this character, like if she has a best friend and that best friend is in every scene or most of the scenes, you're going to have to do a separate chat for that. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to go in and this is what your spread is going to look like, you guys. And Everybody should see the lines on their spread. And if you don't see those lines, you are going to go over here to File. You're going to go down to Settings, and you're going to click on Show Rulers. It is very, 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 very imperative that you keep all text inside these lines, okay? So just so you know, the layout of your book, all right? So you guys, this is going to be the inside cover of your book. This is going to be on the opening page when you first open your book up. The inside cover of your book. Now, a lot of you will not have an inside cover right away because your inside cover will be a rendition of the cover. So when you open the book, can everybody see the book? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so when you open the book, if I can make this what I like. When you open, and you guys can go to libraries or a bookstore and just start looking at books and layouts and how they're done. But majority of books, whatever's on the cover, you're going to have that same image on the opening page. If you're doing a coloring book, you guys are going to have cover picture and then the same image, but in black and white. And it doesn't have to be the exact image. You see how there's no like rainbows or anything in the background. It's just Legends picture. So just know that that first opening picture, you don't have to do it right away. That will be one of the last things that you do for your book, but that's just what you're going to put there. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry. Can you tell me again, how do I get to that in Canva? Like, where do I don't know where to get to that. I'm confused.
You don't have it yet.
Right there where it says the inside cover page. How do I find that in Canva?
You don't have it yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm demonstrating now. You guys are going to get this for your homework. It's a template that we're going to send you.
Is this being
All right.
recorded?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank God.
All right, so your inside cover page, you guys don't worry about that right now, all right? Your next page is going to be your dedication. I'm sorry, this is going to be your copyright page, right? If you are doing a storybook, the copyright information is already there. You're just going to change the author's name to your name or your child's name. Or if you have a company name, you can put that there. Down here, it says author's name or company name. You'll replace that and put that there. Make sure you delete the brackets. If you have a logo, you can put that there as well. Most people don't, so you can just delete it. You can click on there and delete it if you don't need it, all right? But if you have a logo, you can put your logo at the bottom. Your ISBN number we'll talk about in a future class, so don't worry about that for right now. The next page is going to be the dedication page. All right. So if you have a dedication page, this is what your dedication page will look like. It's usually just who are you dedicating this piece of work to? And you're going to keep going. If you want to have a this book belongs to page, what looks something like this, you can do that. You don't have to have that, but you can do that there. And then this is where your book will start. Okay. So let me delete some of this so you guys can understand how we start creating. All right. So this will be your first page spread. So let's just say we got our images from ChatGPT, right? And we are going to download those over here. And let me just say this to you guys. Please try your best to not use any Canva elements. Now, we used to kind of cheat and be like, okay, you can use this, use that. Amazon has been shutting down accounts for people using Canva elements. So try your best if you can to not use any Canva elements. Some books will slide, but they have so many AI tools scanning all of the books now. We don't want anything in your book to be like, boop, for it to pop out and they're like, oh, use Canva element. Canva is very specific about what can be used for commercial purposes. So for tonight, I might use a few elements, but because I'm using them, don't do it. So everything we want you to create either with an Illustrator or using ChatGPT or an AI tool. All right. So let's just go in here and say that our first scene in our story is this is about Lisa, who is she's sad about going to school, right? She's sad. So the first page could be no, let's say she lives in a little house. Okay, so Lisa lives in a house. So let's go over here to ChatGPT and let's start creating our scenes. So we're gonna go here. We can say something like image of a house on a house with a sidewalk. House with a sidewalk, and we're gonna do Disney Pixar style. Image of a house with a sidewalk, Disney Pixar style. Okay, so we're gonna wait for that. All right, so if you like it, you thumbs it up. If you don't, you thumbs down, and then you can say redo if you don't like it. Or if there are specific colors you want in your house, you can do that as well. So if you're like, no, I want the house to be blue with, black shingles. What are those things called? Are they called shingles? On the roof of the house. You guys know what I mean, right?
You got it right.
So let's go ahead. Whatever that. You guys know what I mean. All right, so let's download it, and we're gonna go back to Canva, and we're gonna.
There's two questions.
Yes.
So no borders or light effects either to be used. And the second question is, does that apply to the logos we designed in Canva?
Logos are okay, because most likely it's not going to be affect your books that much, but anything else in past cohorts, we kind of let it slide. We're like, okay, if it's just a mailbox or something. But the more and more we're hearing lately, the news out of Amazon is that they're cracking down. So we highly recommend that you try your best not to use any Canva elements. So if you have something that you want to use and it's in Canva, just go and create it inside of an AI tool. This is not. Somebody just don't want me to be great tonight. Why can't I get this house? Save image. Okay, it's saved. Yes. Why is it not letting me hear your voice? Okay, sometimes you guys, this is good that it's happening. Sometimes Canva doesn't like you to drag and drop from AI. If you find that happens, you can use your snippet tool. Everybody knows how to use the snippet tool and download it that way. So if you find that you're like, I'm trying to get this to open up in Canva and it's not, it may just be the type of file that you have. And so go ahead and use the snippet tool, and then it usually will let you drag and drop it there. Okay, so now we're gonna go and click this here. This is gonna be the first scene in our book, and we're gonna move this out the way. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this over here. All right. Now we want this to, you guys see this line? Your book is already set up. It's already formatted. You just got to follow the lines of the book. So don't let, you see how it's over the line now? Just make sure it's right up directly to that. If it goes over, that's fine. We're okay with it going over, but just make sure it goes up right up to that middle line there. All right. So we can say something like,
seen the light of day in 3 decades almost. Wow.
Let's go and.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes.
How do you use a snippet tool?
Can someone put in the chat for her? Who's speaking?
This is Teresa.
Teresa, can you guys put in the chat so Teresa will be able to follow instructions on how to use a snippet tool? It's usually you can have it on directly from your laptop, or you can add it here at the top. I'm using Firefox, so I'm not sure which search engine you're using, but usually on Firefox, if you add it, I think it's found under add-ons. Is it add-ons? Things I can't remember, but you can add it on. Don't give me the line now. It's been a minute since I did this. More tools or settings. It is going to be found under one customized toolbar. There it is. Okay, it's going to be on the customized toolbar. And then it should be a little thing that looks like this, and you can just drag it right up here on Firefox. I'm not sure how you do it on other things. So they'll put in the chat for you how you guys can find the snippet tool just on your laptop, because most laptops have one built in. All right, so let's just say this. Yes, someone else has a question?
No, I just wanted to say, as a shortcut, you could press your window key, press S and shift all together, and it'll pop up.
Okay, who's speaking?
Mimi.
Awesome. Can you put that in the chat for us? Thank you. All right. So you guys see how we have our character, all right? We just placed her there. She's happy. She lives in a house. Maybe it starts out. Lisa lives in a house on the corner with, you know, lots of flowers with her mom and dad. I don't know. So now you got your first scene. Okay. Now the other thing that we like to do, we just started doing this and it makes the image a lot more believable. We click on the image. We go to edit. And we add a shadow, because if your character is outside, to make it look more believable, like it's a part of the scene, you see how these flowers over here, they have like a little bit of a shadow on the ground. We want your character to have a shadow as well. So if you go down here to shadows and you choose backdrop, you see how it just gave a little shadow. It looks like she's actually standing on the street, right? Standing on the sidewalk there. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
Can you show that example one more time, please?
You need to see it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so this is her without the shadow. Just kind of watch. You see back here on the ground, there's like a dark shadow. This is her without it. That's her without the shadow. Now we're going to show her with the shadow. So you're going to click on the image, you're going to click edit, you're going to click shadows, and you're going to click backdrop. Now this shadow is a little weird because it's almost like she's flying, she's above her shadow. So you can bring this little area up so it just kind of cuts out the shadow underneath her feet. Just try not to cut off her shoe. It's a little hard to do that. Okay. So, and then we can move her to wherever we need her to be. All right, so your storyline could start with, now what we're gonna do is add text over here. So that's when you're gonna go and grab the first line of your story. You can use whatever font that you want. Doesn't matter, this one is Mary Kate. All right, and you can put your text wherever you want it on your page, wherever it's going to be legible. So we're just gonna go in here and put Lisa lives in a little house on the corner with her mom, dad, and little brother and sister. All right, now, you have to find where this is going to show up the best. So sometimes it will be up top, sometimes it will be down low. You just can move your text around to find out what's going to work. No, I keep moving these lines. Okay, so we'll bring this in. And then if we wanted to make this white and then put a shadow, we could also do a shadow behind this as well. We could go to effects and you see how it says shadow, and we can make this pop a little bit more with a shadow. We could offset it, or you could go in and do effects, and then we could go with, we go with the outline, right? And then you also can use thickness. So you guys can do a lot of different things to make it pop a little more. But most people decide to go with the shadow option because then you can choose, you know, a different color if we wanted to do with a black shadow. And then we could bring the transparency up a little bit. See how it's kind of popping off the page more. Okay, can everybody see the difference with it versus without it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, so just the small little details makes a huge difference. All right, so that would be your kind of your first, and you want to make sure your font is large enough to read, but not too big, because remember you're creating this for little eyes, little ones. So we just want to make sure. So that will be our first scene. Let's just say she's getting ready to go to school or something, and she's sad about going to school, and we can go back to ChatGPT and ask it to create us, create an say image of a playground, Disney, Pixar style. All right. All right, so while it's creating, does anybody have questions so far? You guys are going to get this template. We're going to put it in the chat in just a moment. All right, so if that's something that we like, we can go with that. I don't love this image, but let's just say that's the one for the purpose of this, this class. We'll just download that one and we'll bring it over here inside of Canva and we'll say, let's upload. All right, so we got our image. This is going to be on the other side of the page. Make that larger. And then like she's sad. This time she's sad. So we bring her in here. And then we're going to remove the background. And now we're going to place her and try to make her kind of proportionate so she looks like she's actually in the image. And make her a little bit smaller. Bring her over some. And again, you could do the same thing with the shadow on this, but we're going to just duplicate this text. We're going to bring it over here and we're going to say, you know, like Lisa was sad because she thought no one would like her at school because she was different, you know. So maybe Lisa has a learning disability or she has autism or she has something, you know. So you could say she was sad because she thought no one would like her at school because she was different, period. And that's
Brenda, this is Dawn. So should we possibly use Chat GPT to help us to write what maybe needs to go, what the caption that needs to go with each scene to kind of make it flow together, or what would you suggest?
What's your name?
Dawn. This is Dawn.
Dawn. Okay, were you in class last week, Dawn?
Yes.
Okay, so that was your homework. Did you do your homework, Dawn?
I did. I did.
So you have everything you need. So all you're going to do is read the story that you submitted for your homework, and that's what's going to go here. So literally your first, whatever you have, the first 2-3 lines of your story, you're going to create the scene based on the story that you did. Does that make sense?
I got it.
Okay, so just go back and read your story. And then when you create your characters, you're going to create your characters to fit the story that you wrote. Does everybody understand that? Is that confusing for anyone? So I'm just making it up as I go right now, but for you guys already have what's going to go in these boxes. You're just going to separate it on different pages. Everybody got it? Okay, so you're going to do that for the entire book. That is your homework, coloring book people. I mean, storybook people. Y'all got this, okay? You got this. If you need help, we're here for you. We're going to send you over this Send this now to you. We're gonna send the template. I'm gonna put it in the chat. And you guys, it's gonna have Lisa on there. So just delete Lisa, don't freak out. Lisa's gonna be on your first page, but you just delete her and add your own picture and add your own images. You guys got that? Okay, so let me put that in the chat real quick. All right, any questions about that? So your homework is to do the entire storyline, get your characters for every scene. And you guys, you don't want to go over that. What we're gonna put in the chat, don't go over that page count if you can, because we wanna keep your books in between 24 and 32 pages, okay? We don't want you to submit a book that has 50 pages.
I have a question about not the storybook, because I'm gonna do a storybook and a coloring book. Now, the template for the coloring book, is that the same thing, or is that?
Who's speaking?
This is Danielle, sorry, MBCC.
MVCC, you helped me out today, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I
can't type.
tried.
I can't type and talk at the same time. Give me a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, you're fine. What are we doing? A storybook template. All right. It's in the chat, you guys. Let me know if you can see this. It says storybook template. Y'all see it says storybook template. I need everybody to click on it. If you're writing a storybook or a children's book, make sure you can open it. Okay. Now, MBCC, tell me your name again.
Danielle Freeman.
Danielle. Wait,
Yes.
do we have two Danielles here tonight?
More than likely, I think so.
Okay, okay, Danielle, I got it. Yes, okay, so your question was, is the template for the coloring book the same as the storybook?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Okay.
So you're going to have a separate template. A lot of you, when you signed up for the program, you bought the coloring book drag and drop template. So if you have that, you can use that. If you don't have that, we can provide you with the template. But most likely, if you got the coloring book template, you have everything you need.
Okay, perfect. That's it.
So now the only difference for those of you who are doing coloring books, as we went over last week, we're getting ready to wrap this segment up, you guys, because Coach Q is going to come on, and I'm so excited about her segment. Every time we do this, it's like the heart of our program. It's going to really shift you guys tonight. So we're going to wrap up our storybook stuff and move into Coach Q's session. So coloring book people, is everybody able to open that link that we just put in the chat, the storybook template?
Yep.
No, I don't see it.
Got over here.
Yes.
If you go in the chat, hold on, I should be able to heart it.
It's next to mine that says BC. Can you guys see my name, BC, Brenda Cotton Waters, BC? It's the green little icon, and then it says storybook template. I'll put it in again, and it's just gonna be a big long link. Either one of those you guys can click on. You should be able to click on. If you click on chat, then it should show up. Has everybody got it?
I just did it for you, so don't worry.
You.
You're welcome.
Will this also be available on the Telegram or just the chat itself?
Yes, we will put it in Telegram as well.
Okay. I did have one question about the Canva situation you said earlier. Does it count when you are doing like pixel enhancing? Does that turn it into like an image for Canva, or does it keep it an AI image that you got from ChatGPT?
Can you say that again for me?
Does it turn the image into a Canva image if you use the pixel enhancer when you are trying to enhance a ChatGPT image?
That's interesting. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe you guys can do some research on it. I know exactly what you're asking me because we're using the tool to help us alter the image. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, I don't have the answer. I'm gonna say no because it's not their element. It's not found in their store or in their elements are over here, you guys. So let's just say, for instance, I came over here and I was like, oh, give me an image of a park, right? Image of a park. And then it gave me all of these, but I wanted it to be like graphics, right? And I said, oh, that's cool. I like that. That's a cool scene to put in my book. And you go and you added it to your book. This is what we're talking about. Don't do this. Okay, don't do that, because they have now AI tools that can scan your books on Amazon and go bloop. That came from Canva. and then they'll shut your account down. So that's what we mean by don't use any of their elements.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You
Okay,
send
real
it
quick.
out, I'm sorry, did you send it out to an email or is it, because my email is switched. I sent you a notice that I no longer have access to the email that you were emailing me on.
Who's
I had to
speaking?
change it. Minerva.
Minerva. What we just, are you talking about the link that we just put in?
Yes.
It's going to be in the chat here on the Zoom call. Do you see where your chat is on Zoom? There should be a button at the bottom or the right. Maybe tap your screen and see if something pops up. It's going to say chat. And when you click on that chat icon, you should be able to.
Yeah, I just sent it to her directly, just so
Thank
she
you
can
so
get
much.
it.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. All right. So the coloring book people, we're going to wrap you up real quick, and then we're going to get into our next segment with Coach Q. So you guys are going to have a different layout. You guys have already worked on your first 25 images. How was that for you? Was it stressful? Was it fun? Give us some feedback on how it felt for you as you were creating your images.
Stressful.
I can't hear anybody.
It was, this is Bridget. It was stressful. It was, I had to walk away too, because in the beginning I was getting good pictures, but then it started where I would have a cat with 5 legs, 3 tails. And so I was like, is it just me or is something going on? So I was like, I called my daughter and I was like, is there something wrong with this picture? And she's like, well, yeah. And I was like, okay, just want to make sure it wasn't my eyes. I've been sitting on the computer too long. So then I started getting a lot of pictures like that. So I shut it off and waited about an hour and started again because I was like, what is going on? So yeah. So I was like getting frustrated with it too.
When I say you guys, the person you started out as when you started this 4-week coaching, you are not going to be that same person by the time we're done, because you guys are changing as we speak. Yeah, like y'all are having to manage your emotions, right? Like, I see how my kids get frustrated now. You're like, when you can't figure something out, it drives you crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
So yes, thank you for sharing that. So you guys pack your patience. If you get frustrated, walk away, go take a break, go take a walk, go get some water, just walk away. There's so many tools you guys can use to do this. We use Mid-Journey in the course. So everybody who is here should have access to Kid Authors Academy. Does everybody have access to Kid Authors Academy? If you don't, go back to your initial email that you received from us. There's a link. Now, what I want to tell you is that many of you are going to want to also add activities into your books, right? If you want to do like a word search or tic-tac-toe or how to draw, all of that is inside of the Kid Authors Academy course. So if you run out of images, you're like, okay, my images are just off. Just start doing word searches or start doing other activities to fill in those pages. You guys are going to have, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you guys, I just put the template to this in the chat, the black and white cover. This is going to be your template if you're doing a coloring book. Can everybody see what I'm holding up right now? So that would be the inner page. So it's going to be black and white right here. And your copyright is going to be under that. You're going to scroll. The next page is going to be blank. So every other page will be blank inside of your coloring book. Okay. This is the back, every other page. So the back of every page will be blank. So that's why you're going to see these blank pages in here. Then what we want to do is have you guys make sure that your images are at portrait size. I know that's hard because ChatGPT will give you more of a square size. We need to make sure that it goes from top to bottom, but not go over these lines, not go over your margins, okay? So let's just say, you know, we got this image and we got this image. Real quick, some of you are getting images. We're going to go back to our GPT. We're going to type in coloring book GPT. We're going to go with coloring book hero. We're going to click here. And I'm going to say this only because I know it's probably going to spit out a shaded image because some of you may have shading in your images. We don't want any images with shading. So we're going to click on here and type in African American superhero. Let's do kid. Okay, sometimes it'll tell you what it's going to create first, and then it's like, do you like that or do you not? You say, this is great, and then it'll create it. All right. So if it's like, this is what I'm going to create, just say, okay, great, create it. Perfect. I knew it was going to do that. So usually what it will do when you're creating certain images, it will shade it in. This is a coloring book. You don't want any shading. You guys got it? Type in the chat. No shading, no shading, no shading, no shading. So what we're going to do, if you get an image like this, you're like, I love it, it's perfect, but you cannot put this in your book because it's a coloring book. You're going to download it. You're going to go over to a tool called Tech Lagoon. I'm going to put the link in the chat. This is going to take your image and remove the shading. I see you guys, no shading, no shading, no shading, no shading. Okay, I just put it in the chat. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to select the file that we just got. That is our file. We're gonna go over here to the right. We usually like about 4 or 5 pin pressure, you know, like 3 or 4, you know, you can play around with it, making these higher or lower, it's up to you. We usually keep it on about 5, fine pin, the recommended one, and then we're gonna click on convert. You guys see what just happened?
Yes.
So that's what you want.
Yes.
Now it did not take out his hair, so we can kind of let that slide, but for the most part, you want only black and white. You're gonna download that and then bring it back into Canva. Okay, you're gonna bring it back into Canva. Let me see that. Okay, so it gave me an error. You guys know what to do. If it does not download correctly, you're going to go and do a screenshot of that. All right. So if we did it one more time, open, convert, download. Now we're going to screenshot it. We're going to download it, and now we should be able to bring it into Canva. So that's the workaround. And now our next picture on here, we would remove these words, and then we will put our little image there. Again, we want this to be filled in. So you guys can either go in and use your Magic Extend tool. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you'll have to go and create some additional images inside of ChatGPT to extend this. We'll see, it might do it, it may not, but let's just see what happens. And then we click on Magic Extend down here at the bottom. So we're gonna wait for that to work its magic. All right, while it's doing that, all right, so sometimes it does something weird like this, like it'll add some other words up here that you may not need. So this is not a good example. It just added some random stuff up here. That's not a good example, but essentially what we want you to do is go into ChatGPT and get some, you know, black and white clouds or some fun things that you guys can add up here, or you can add words just to fill in this top area. All right, you guys, your homework for those of you who are doing coloring books is to finish all 85 illustrations. So you just submitted 25. So we want you to finish the rest of them. Y'all can do it. We believe in you. We believe in you. Woo, 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 woo. You can do it. Lock in, stay focused, stay focused. Now, as you guys are creating, we also want you guys to make sure you're upscaling your images so that they're high quality. So I'm going to zoom in on this image. You guys see how that's a little bit pixelated right there. If we go over here on the left side, and you don't have to do this, you know, for your homework, it just needs to be done before your book is submitted to Amazon. If you don't have time to do this for all of your images for homework, that's fine. But this is just something we want to mention. If you go to apps, and then if you go down here to image upscaler, if you don't see it, you can type it in, image upscaler. Click there, and then that's the app you want to use, the first one here. And if you see how pixelated, it's not like a complete line. We want all of your images to be high quality. All right, we want them to be high quality. So it'll say your image is already high resolution. Don't believe the hype. Make sure you upscale it. 2x is usually fine. You can go up to 4x, but 2x is usually enough. You're going to click on upscale. But as we upscale, we want you guys to notice what happens to this image. Okay, watch. Upscaling now. If we can get everybody to mute, if you guys can mute your Zoom call, please. So it says it's upscaling now. And you guys are going to do this also for your images for your storybooks as well. So if you're doing a storybook, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to click on your image. You may click on your character and then click on your image, the background image, and then upscale it. I don't know why everything's taking forever tonight. But once it upscales, it's going to give you the option to accept it or apply it. You're going to apply it, and then it will upscale your image. The reason why we do this is because any coloring book, we want your books to look high quality. And so anything that's off, like we said, make sure you have 5 fingers on each hand, a right foot and a left foot on each foot. Like the small details you guys have to have an eye for, because once your books are on Amazon, they're out to the world. And we have people who are going to just critique you just because that's who they are. You have people in the publishing industry, you got family members. Sometimes people just try to find something, even though it's perfect and it's great, right? They may try to find something. So we don't want someone going on your Amazon listing saying this book is horrible quality because the images are blurred or what have you. Now this is taking forever. I'm not sure why. I apologize, you guys. It may be because I have a lot of tabs open. But when you do it on your own, you guys try it on your own. When you do it on your own, okay, there we go. It's going to come up and say replace. And then once you click on replace, you'll be able to see the difference between what it looked like before. You guys see the difference, how it changed it? And what it looks like now. Can everybody see that? I know I asked you to mute, but I need to hear you. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
that is it. So coloring book people, we need all 85 pages complete before Monday. You're going to submit that by Monday. 85 illustrations. That could be illustrations, that could be activities, that could be word search, that could be whatever you're going to have in your book. Let's get those done before class on Monday. Coloring book people, you need to have your entire book spread done by next class on Monday. All right. Everybody understand your homework? Y'all understand the assignment?
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
On the elements, you made the comment. I know we talked about the Amazon shutting down using the Canva elements, and you showed someone the pictures, but how about like a coloring page? Because I know they've got some coloring pages on Canva. Can we use those?
At your own risk. Your coach has said no.
Okay.
Your coach has advised you to not do it, but
okay, so don't use the coloring pages either. Okay.
I mean, we have people in the other cohorts who have, but this is just recent development. So our job as your coaches is just to inform you of what we're seeing in the industry. Okay. Now, in the past, they may have let it slide. Like when Legends book came out a year and a half, some months ago, they didn't even ask if it was AI generated. That wasn't even an option. But because everything's shifting and changing so much, you have to specify, all right? So we didn't have to do that, but because things are shifting and changing so drastically, you guys, those people who are coming before and after you, they're going to have even more strenuous restrictions. So it's not that you can't, it's just what we're hearing is happening. So we don't want you to get caught up in that just because you put a cloud from Canva on one of your pages and they're like, whole account has to go away.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was referring to just like pictures or if that meant like, line drawings too.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say all elements. Now, usually AI, there's another tool called Kittl, Kittl. We haven't talked about that much. That's another tool that it's very similar to Canva. I think it's like $15 a month. They have some elements in there. They could care less how you use their elements. They're like, sell it. We don't care. So if you're like, AI is not giving you what you want, Kittl is another one. It's very similar to Canva, and you can create t-shirts in there as well. So you guys can check that out. Any other questions before we bring Coach Q up to the stage?
On the story, I'm sorry, on the storybook, does every page have to have an illustration, or can it just be some wording with a background on some pages?
Yes, it can be wording with a background.
Okay.
You guys are the authors, you guys are the creatives. So if you're like, I don't think this page needs to have a picture, you could totally just do a yellow background or a blue background and just put some words on it. It's fine.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes.
Hey, this is T. Hey, question on when we do designs for shirts or whatever, the prompts, how can we save them other than putting them in our notepads?
The prompts for like Bing prompts?
Like when we did the Christmas designs where you gave us the prompts, like if we did our own and we wanted to save the prompt, how do you save them other than like a
That's kind
notepad?
of the only way right now. When I tell you guys to screenshot it, you can copy a screenshot, right? Like if you screenshot something and you go and open it up in your photos and you press it and hold it, it'll copy that prompt. And then, like you say, you can put it in your notes. Right now, that's the only way. We are going to be launching or releasing a prompting guide that will have some of those, not all of those that we go over on the lives with the t-shirt designs. That will be coming out soon. But the only way to do it now while we're live is really just to screenshot it and then save that prompt somewhere, either on a Word document or somewhere in your phone or your notes. Siobhan says,
like the ones that we do, we build our own where we can download the prompt or whatever it gives us. We just have to save them in the notepad on our computers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And who was that, Teresa?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Siobhan says, are illustrators on Fiverr aware of not using AI for images because we don't want to pay them, but they use them? That part, you guys have to, you do your due diligence. You really have to go through, look at all their reviews. You have to look at see, how ask them, how are you creating these images? What tools do you use? If they say Photoshop or Procreate, they're probably designing it themselves. But there are people on Fiverr who they'll tell you they're illustrating with their hand and they're actually just doing the same thing you guys are doing. They're going to AI tool and being like, hey, create this, create that. And then they're sending it to you. You're like, well, why did I pay you when I could have done it myself? So that's a really good question, Siobhan. So just make sure you guys are doing your due diligence and asking the pertinent questions before you decide to hire someone. All right, guys. Yay! Are you guys excited? Y'all are gonna be authors. Woo, 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 woo. Exciting times. Just in time for Christmas. Yay. All right, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We have another segment coming up that is the heart of our program. This is going to change you in ways that you never thought possible. Coach Q is going to come to the stage and she's going to do an exercise. She's going to do a session with you that is so imperative and it's so important for your success in the program, for your success as authors, for your success on your new journey as entrepreneurs and, business owners or creators, designers, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, right? She is a life coach. She is an author. She is a motivational speaker. She's a minister. She's all these different things. She is my partner in life, in business, and in crime. She's going to come to the stage and take you guys through a process that changed both of us forever. Like this process has allowed us to be the individuals that you see sitting before you now. As many of you know, I'm an introvert. Okay. She's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. And I had a lot of negative self-talk, okay, for years and years and years and years. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't smart enough. Came from a very religious background. I just beat myself up about anything and everything. And it was really hard for me to overcome and rise up to my highest potential because of all that negativity in my mind. Is anybody else, can y'all relate to that? Like, in your heart, you can do it, but your mind is saying, girl, what? Who do you think you are? You can't do that. No, you're not smart enough to do that. What? And you backpedal and you play small and you dim your light. Am I talking to anybody?
Yes.
Any light dimmers in the room? Dimming our own light?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, so Coach Q is going to take you through a process that is going to help you shine your light and shine it bright and not be afraid of it and to be unapologetically you and to go forth as the purpose pushers that we know you are, but to really find yourself. So we want you guys to tap into this session, turn any distractions off. Hopefully the kids are in bed. Tell them mommy, dad has to focus. We got to focus in right now. This is your time, you guys. You won't ever get this. People charge hundreds of thousands of dollars for these types of sessions, and we're providing it to you guys tonight for free because we know this is the missing piece. This is the missing piece. A lot of people are like, well, why can't I get it? I keep starting things, I keep ending things, or I don't finish, I procrastinate. You can't move forward because you keep taking 10 steps backwards and you just can't figure out why. So she's going to help you break the cycle and understand why. And so hopefully once you realize what that is, you'll be able to go forth as the amazing, creative, talented, beautiful, worthy, deserving individuals that you are. You guys ready? Type ready if you're ready.
Ready.
Ready. All right, coming to the stage, Coach Q. Woo. Give it up for Coach Q. Coach Q.
Thank you. Oh my God. Let me tell you, hype them up. Why don't you, Coach B? Listen, guys, seriously. So we call this the mindset makeover. Yes, mindset makeover. And be proud of yourself, number one, for showing up. Be proud of yourself for being committed to working on yourself. All of the PPA students that we have, be proud of yourself. I always say that you're in the right place at the right time for the right reason. So it's not an accident that you are here. You have chosen to work on yourself. And so many times we go through life and we give and we pour out to other people, but we don't pour back into ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to receive what we're giving out. And so I'm here to walk you through and take you through this exercise. We all have these personal lies that we tell ourselves. We have these personal lies that we live by. And these personal lies, for example, either we have given these things to ourselves or someone else has put these labels and stigmas and tags on us to where we say to ourselves, we're not good enough. We're not worthy. We don't have what it takes. Something is wrong with me. I'm bad. I'm lacking in some area of my life. And those are just personal lies. And what we don't confront, what we don't deal with, what we don't heal from, we allow these things, whether consciously or subconsciously, to rule, ruin, and run our life. And so, what we want to do is we want to bring you out of that. We want you to heal from those personal lies that are holding you back. And a lot of times, as authors, which I'm a published author, a lot of times when we're writing our stories, we get to a point where, we set out to say, hey, I want my book to look like this. And I want it done in this amount of time, this way. And a lot of times we'll find ourselves with these blocks. I call them writer's blocks for those of you who are writing novels, writer's block. And you're like, oh my God, I thought I was going to say that. And I thought it was going to be easier, but it's not easy. You get to a point to where you're like, I don't know where this fits in my story. And that's okay. But I want to encourage you, no matter where you are in your life, no matter where you are on your journey, on your writing process, it's okay to take a moment. It's okay to take a step back so that you can reset, and refocus. And with that being said, I want to congratulate all of you in advance on being published authors. I don't care if you had to stop, start. We've had some people in previous cohorts who say, you know what, I came in and I was ready to get in here and I was ready to do the work, and they had to take a step back, and that's okay. But as a man thinketh, so is he. So what you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring into your experience. And so we're going to shift from these personal lies that we've been telling ourselves, because on the opposite side of these personal lies is our eternal truth, the very essence of who you are. I believe that we all came on purpose, for purpose, and with purpose. And God called you according to his purpose. And so it is our job to release and let go of those personal lies and tap into our eternal truth that you are good enough, you are worthy, you have what it takes, you deserve the absolute best. We all have stories. My story may look different from your story may look different from the next person's story, but we all have a story. And sometimes our stories, they don't happen by chance. Our stories, I believe, is what helps us to overcome, help us to advance, to be the greater beings that God has called us to be. So with that being said, I need you guys to either get your phone, because I need you to put your phone on selfie mode, or you can get a little mirror or wherever you are, but I need you to be able to look at yourself and get something to write with. Get a piece of paper, pen, or if you take notes, I like to put all my notes in my phone or your iPad, whatever it is. But I need you to be able to have something that you can jot down your answers, because I have 4 questions that I'm going to ask you to take you through this process. So let me know when you guys are ready. I'll give you a few minutes to either put your phone on selfie mode or get in a mirror somewhere where you can look at yourself, see yourself. Okay, I see a couple of people posting in the group. Ready? I'll give you a few more minutes. And when you're going through this process of answering these questions, I don't want you to think too hard about it. I don't want you to beat yourself up about it. Do not judge yourself. And we're not here to judge you.
Yes, and as she's doing this, you guys, it's the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't second guess it, just whatever pops up first.
Right. All right, I see a few more people already. I'll give you another minute. Okay. All right, so here we go. It's 4 questions. And I'll repeat the questions to make sure that you get the question down. So number 1, when I look at myself, I see blank. And I want you to fill in the blank. Don't think long and hard about it. Just whatever comes to mind, as Coach B stated. When I look at myself, I see blank. Last time. When I look at myself, I see blank. Okay. Moving to question 2. The most negative thought I have about myself is blank. The most negative thought I have about myself is blank. Okay. Question 3. The one thing that's holding me back from pursuing my dreams and goals is blank. The one thing that's holding me back from pursuing my dreams and goals is blank. Last time. The one thing that's holding me back from pursuing my dreams and goals is blank. Last question, which is number 4. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be blank. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be blank. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to write down your answers. When you're done, if some people can go ahead and put in the chat for me, done. Thank you. All right, all right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, do we have, and this is not to pick on you. This is not to pick on anybody. This is to thank you. I see another done. Thank you, Teresa. This is not to pick on anybody. This is to help you through your process. Is there any brave soldier who wants to share the answers to the 4 questions that I asked? And this is a safe space. There's no judgment here.
I don't mind.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's hear it.
The first one, you ready?
Yes. I'm ready when you're ready.
Well, the first one I did say happy. And the reason why is because I have God in my life. That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was to be focused and to move forward. The third one was my mind being afraid of things, like just wondering, like there was, can I do it? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth one was to stay focused on what I have to do so I can finish. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So I hear you saying focus and to be more focused so that you can move forward. And I'm here to tell you that all of us have been in that place, and some of us are still in that place because we have a lot of distractions around us. And it's so easy to get caught up in distractions. It's so easy to be caught up in all the things that are going on around us. But you owe it to yourself to move forward. You owe it to yourself to focus on you to get done what you know you need to get done. So, something that I like to use are affirmations, positive affirmations. I believe in the power of affirmations. I believe in the power of prayer. And with that being said, a lot of times we have to spend time with ourselves. In spite of all the things that are going on, the hustle and bustle and flow of taking care of people, taking care of things, we have to carve out time to spend with ourselves. I don't care if it's 10 minutes of your busy day, you owe it to yourself to take 10 minutes. So I would encourage you to find time. I don't know, for me, I like journaling. I think journaling is a good tool to focus on writing your affirmations. So I'm going to give you an affirmation that you can write down. You can post it on a sticky. You can, put it up in your car, whatever helps you to remind yourself to stay focused. So you got your sticky. Okay, I love that. So I want you to write, this is your affirmation. I allow myself to move forward and focus on me. I allow myself to move forward and focus on me. And if you want to tweak that, Gloria, or you have anything you want to add to that affirmation, you can do that. And the more you write it, the more you say it, is the more you start believing it. The more you start believing it, the more you'll start seeing it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sounds good. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And can you do me a favor? Can you say your affirmation, your new affirmation to the group?
I hope I wrote it down right. I allow myself to focus more. Wait a minute. I allow myself to be more focused and focus on me. That's what I have.
Okay. Hey, that's good too. But I'll repeat what I had.
Okay.
I allow myself to move forward and focus on me.
I allow myself to move forward and focus on me. Yeah, that's what I have down. I allow myself to move forward and focus on me. Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you. So that's your new mindset makeover affirmation for you.
Okay,
All right, thank you. Thank you for being brave.
thank you.
Okay, is there someone else that would like to go?
I would like to go.
Okay.
Hello.
Jasmine.
Yes, Jasmine.
All right.
So question number one, when I look at myself, I see a creative individual who has a lot of potential. The most negative thought I have about myself is because you're so worried and afraid to take one step, you'll always be in the same position.
Mm.
The one thing that is holding me back from receiving my dream goal is my overthinking, my hesitation to take a risk, and that could be in my personal or business life. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be to change my mindset. My mindset is blocking my blessings.
Mm. Thank you. Okay. So you see, there's some similarity there, even with this whole thing of focusing and having fear. And it's all about the mindset. Because if we can change the way we think, then if we can change the way we think, then we could create new experiences in our life. And so, Jasmine, I want you to know that you are creative. And we all have found ourselves overthinking things, but you have what it takes. It's already in you. Everything you need is within you.
Right. Yes.
So you can tweak your affirmation, you can create your own affirmations. But I want you to know, and the affirmation I would give you is that I have everything that I need within me to be creative and successful. And I'm just jotting it down as well. If you want to tweak it, you can. If you want to create your own, you can.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right. So can you repeat that back to your community?
I have everything that I need within me to be creative and successful.
Say it again. I'm sorry. It cut out.
I have everything that I need within me to be creative and successful.
Yes. How does that feel saying that?
It feels good. It feels good to say it. Like you said, I just think I need to continue to say it because it is motivation. Like, you have it within you, so like don't be afraid, just do it. The
Yes.
creativity is within you, so you can be successful.
Yes. Yes. A lot of times we try to look outside of ourselves for the answers and for other people to validate us and to approve of us. You don't need anybody to validate you. You don't need anybody to approve of you. We have to learn how to love and approve of ourselves. And don't let anybody tell you that you're lacking or missing anything. You're not lacking or missing anything. So the more, again, you guys write it down, the more you say it, the more you see it. That's why I like to write and put it on little sticky notes or put it on the refrigerator, in the mirror, wherever, because the more you say it, the more you write it, the more you begin to believe it. And it doesn't happen overnight. We have to take small steps. Sometimes we take baby steps to push us into our purpose, to push us into the direction that we want to go in and be in. We didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to come out overnight. But small steps equals big wins, if that makes sense. You still with me, Jasmine?
Yes, I am. Yes, that's correct.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
you guys make sure you're writing these down. Those of you who are in what we call the hot seat, you guys will have homework on this segment. Okay. Some of you are going to have a chance to come up and speak. Some of you are just going to listen in. As you listen, you will resonate with some of the stories. And if you resonate with what you're hearing, that's your affirmation too. It may not just be for that person that Coach Q is talking to at the moment. So go ahead and listen in. If you feel like, oh my God, that's me, and Coach Q gives them an affirmation, write that down for yourself because we will have homework.
Yes. All right.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay, and who is this?
My name is Leah.
Leah, okay.
I hope I got the questions correct, but for question 1, I see myself as a beautiful, accomplished woman. For number 2, I kind of feel like I don't matter because everyone else needs me. For number 3, the need to be there for my daughter and her kids, since I'm her only parent, I feel guilt. And then for number 4, to be able to say I matter and kind of stand up for myself more.
Yes. Yes. So Leah, you are a giver.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So for those of us who are givers, we have to be extremely careful. And I like what you said about guilt, because we feel like we need to care for everybody else, right? And if we're not there, then it's like, what happens to these people? Oh my God, if I'm not there for my daughter, if I'm not there for my parents, then, what happens to them? They need my support, right? Because everybody needs us. Those of us who are givers is what we tell ourselves. So what if you wasn't there? What if you was taking time out for yourself? It would be figured out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your affirmation is, and here's another thing I want to add. We can give so much that we become depleted. When we become depleted, who's refilling and refueling our cup? Nobody. So then at that point is where we get resentment, right? That's where the resentment came, because then we get into the woulda, shouldas, and couldas. If I would have just did this, then I would be better here. If I would have did this. So I want you to give yourself permission to take a step back. It will be figured out, because you're not there to save them. We can't save anybody. We can only save ourselves, right? With the help of God.
Yes.
So I want you to tell yourself that you are important and you matter. I am important and I matter.
Okay. I can say that. I am important and I matter.
Yes. And you're going to give yourself permission to take care of Leah. Okay. I give myself permission. I'm going to give you 2 affirmations. I give myself permission to take care of me.
Coach Q?
Yes.
May I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Leah?
Yes.
Who in your life, or at what point in your life, did you feel you didn't matter? Who made you feel like you didn't matter?
All my life, and my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a moment in time that you can go back to and remember what that felt like, or was that something that just happened continuously over time?
It happened continuously over time. She told me she should have aborted me, that she hated me.
Okay.
And as you say those words now, how does it feel?
I'm somewhat numb to it because I've heard it all my life. So
take a breath here. Take a deep breath. Because you just released something that was very, very heavy.
And numbness is our way of coping for many of us.
Yeah.
It's our way of coping. And you may have gone through life and maybe at some point it bothered you, and then you just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna let that bother me anymore. And we pretend, but if we got really real with ourselves and we were really honest, it hurts.
It does.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And it's okay to feel that hurt in this space, because oftentimes we don't have a place to feel that, because life is life in, kids need us, family needs us, we got to keep moving.
Yeah.
So you may not have ever had a chance to really allow yourself to feel the pain of your mother saying that to you repeatedly. So this is a safe space tonight.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Everybody shine light, send love and light to Leah.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys. I appreciate you.
Yes. Leah, there's great work for you to do.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. There's great work for you to do. Your story is going to help some other people to heal.
Okay.
Yeah. It's your time. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you. It's time for you to focus on you, to do you, to be you. We can't pour from an empty cup. And we send light to whoever made you feel that way. I think you say your mom.
Yes.
Okay. So we send light to your mom. And sometimes people project, right?
Yeah.
They feel a certain way about themselves. So because of that, then they try to project it onto other people. But you have great work to do. And you're here to help yourself overcome. God has a purpose and a plan for you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
And
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry. Are we done?
What's this?
Minerva, I apologize. That was beautiful, but I missed the beginning. What are we supposed to be? What's the questions?
Did you just get on?
I was on, but then I left a little bit and came back up and on for the other ones. I just missed the beginning of your asking. I'm assuming there's some
I'll
questions.
put them in the chat. I'll
Thank
put them
you.
in the chat.
Well, you've been helping me all along. Thank you.
No, you're good.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting in the chat. Thank you. All right.
Just a quick recap. Since you're just kind of stepping back in, Coach Q is doing a session to help you guys break through your negative self thoughts about yourself. And so she was just going through the exercise with everyone and then giving them affirmations. So that's what we're doing now. And then they put in the chat all the questions that she asked. She asked 4 questions. So if you want to participate, you can just put the answer to those questions on a piece of paper. So you are kind of able to follow along with what we're doing. But essentially, she is just, we call this our mindset makeover session. So she is really helping you guys break through those negative thoughts that you have about yourself that is holding you back from achieving your highest success in life. Because so many of you know that you want to do all these big things, but maybe you're taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps back, or you can't get to the financial success that you want because you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you don't have what it takes. So Coach Q is literally just helping you guys break down those barriers.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. So as I'm seeing some people post in the chat, that's me. I'm depleted. So yes, we all have this in common, especially for those of us who are givers, I call it, big givers. But guys, I don't care. You got to find a way to focus on yourself. You've got to find a way to spend time with yourself. You've got to. Now's the time. Now's your time. If you got to turn your phone off, do not disturb. If you got to go into your closet, if you got to get in your car and drive somewhere to a park just to be able to breathe, inhale and exhale, to focus on you, do that. You don't owe anybody you don't owe anybody explanation as to why you're doing what you need to do for yourself.
I think, just to add on to that really quick, I think one of the biggest things that I had to learn, because I am the oldest and I am the child that everyone comes to, child, adult, whatever, that everyone comes to for everything, whether it be my parents, my mom, my grandmother, aunts, different states, siblings. I'm everybody's second mother. I had to say no.
Yep.
I shut everything off. And like, especially with this time, it's for me, not for anybody else. And if no one doesn't like it at this point, because one of my things is I used to be a people pleaser, and I still am at times. I'm a family pleaser, and I had to stop doing that. even when it comes to, let's just say, a holiday. Just no, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be by myself and I just want to take care of me. And you have to do that. Otherwise, you would drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
I find that's hard because for me, my name is Grace, I'm sorry. When my mom passed 2014, it seemed like I had to be the one to step in her feet. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Let the tears flow. Let them flow. This is your moment to get it out.
It seemed like I had to be the one to take her place with my siblings, my aunt, friends, everybody. And it's hard for me to say no.
Yes. Yeah.
So to get that word no out, I have to learn.
Yeah. And Grace,
yes,
guys, let's just extend support to Grace. Let's extend support to her. Let's shine divine love and light on her. Because it is hard. Just like Cece stated, I'm the oldest in my family. And it becomes so overwhelming. And we try to carry, well, I don't say we try to, but we end up somehow carrying the weight on our shoulders. But guys, it's really not our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to save anybody. And it does take practice. As Cece said, it takes practice in saying no, Grace. And therefore, we have to know that we are worthy. We have to know that we're worthy and we matter and we are important. And we have to train people and teach people how to treat us. Because if we allow people to always depend on us, and honestly, we're not really helping them, we're enabling them and crippling them. That they don't depend on themselves, they depend on us. And so it's a practice. Practice saying no. And I'm going to tell you, people will get mad when they're so accustomed to depending on us. They get mad when you say no. Oh, what's wrong with her? You got an attitude. No, I don't have an attitude.
Well, they talk about you behind your back because that's what's happening to me right now.
Yeah, they do. They do. Listen, I'll be vulnerable. I had my family tell me, you got an attitude. You must need to be on medication. Oh, I need to be on medication because I'm choosing to say no and to take care of me. No, no. So yeah, people are gonna say things. They're gonna, but I realize that we live in a world. People are gonna talk about you if you do good. People are gonna talk about you if you do bad. Anytime that you go against anything that they want you to do, they're gonna talk about you. Well, we have to get out of the habit of, and I know words hurt. You know, some people say, "Oh, words don't hurt," but yeah, words hurt. But that's where it comes into where you got to know that you're worthy. You got to know that you're good enough. So it's.
I just wanted to say, this is Stacy, sorry. I just wanted to say something out during my own exploration of this same topic. I had found out that my younger self or my younger child, when I was young, and I didn't feel love, that is a subconscious belief that I have had throughout my life. So as an adult, if I don't give or help or overextend myself, that was the little child saying, if I don't do what daddy tells me to do or somebody tells me to do, then I won't be loved. So there are a lot of the things that we do are because we're trying to find that love that the little child wanted. And so we go through life as an adult overextending and being over agreeable and giving too much of ourselves because we're still that little child inside that wants to be loved, and we're afraid if we say no, then we will be rejected and we won't be loved, or we won't have that friend, or we won't be liked. So that was something that I had to come to terms with and kind of remove that subconscious thought from my beliefs. It's still there to some degree, but at least now it's to my conscious level, and
Yes.
I can understand and realize and build boundaries and try to allow myself the time for myself.
Yeah, that's
I don't
it,
know if that
Stacey.
makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfectly good sense. Thank you. And I think that's it. Because we're in these adult bodies, but we still have that little girl, little boy in us that's hurting, right?
Yeah.
Because who taught us how to take care of ourselves? And just like you said, if you didn't get it growing up, who taught you that? So we went through life just doing the best we could, trying to survive. And a lot of us are in that survival mode. Yeah, trying to keep it all together, trying to piece it together. But I want us to get to the point to where, you know what? I'm here and I'm not going anywhere and I matter and I'm going to take care of myself.
Right.
You know what? I'm going to give everybody this affirmation. I want to give the whole group this affirmation. I love and approve of myself as I am. I love and approve of myself as I am. Because we have to believe it within self. Grace, are you still with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I love and approve of myself as I am. And it's safe for me to say no. Because as Stacey mentioned, if you say no, then you get scared, like, oh, I won't receive that love, or I won't, somebody will be mad at me if I say no. No, it's safe for me to say no.
Wow, Coach Q, that's deep. It's safe for me to say no. It's safe for me to say no.
And that's how we begin to pull out the weed of fear. It's safe for me to say no. So that affirmation is for everybody. That's your homework. I love and approve of myself as I am. I see you, Cece. I like that. Cece said, I write a letter to my younger self every month. It helps me to get better. I like that.
My therapist forced me to do that because I was a big time people pleaser. So much so that my circle went from huge to now my phone will probably ring with 4 people on there versus 100 people calling me.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah. And guys, maybe you're saying, oh, how am I going to do that? That sounds overwhelming. That sounds like a lot. Baby steps. Baby steps.
And
just like you said, sorry, but just like you said, it starts with the affirmations, just like you said. Once you keep saying them, once you start believing them, but the more that you believe them, the more that you'll actually work on doing them and then getting it done.
Absolutely.
Because it hurts. The first time I ever said no, I cried my eyes out. I went and I sat in my bed and I cried. I didn't want to say no, but I had to.
Yeah. We can all relate. I believe in some way we can all relate. And that's why we're here to do the work together. I haven't mastered it all. Coach B hasn't mastered it all, but we've grown because we've practiced and we've done the work. And it does take work. It takes time. And if you work it, it works for you. But you have to carve out that time.
Hi.
Hi, Amber. Is that
Hi, it's TK.
TK. Okay.
Can I share something with you all?
Sure.
I've been listening for like the last 2 classes, and the young lady that was just speaking, I wanted to say something to her. I literally made myself sick last year, and it was because I always said yes to everything. Do have a demanding career, have a demanding job. Not only that, but I was helping my mom take care of my dad for the last 5 years. He had a stroke, and so with work and everything, I put all the pressure on myself. I am my parents' go-to person. Their help. He can't walk anymore, can't do anything like that anymore. So my husband and I both take care of them. And it got so bad that she called me for every little thing. It was like my mom was beginning to forget things, and so she just really relied on me a lot more. But I wasn't saying anything to anybody. And I started having heart palpitations last year. And I honestly went to the hospital because I thought that I was having a heart attack. Now, I'm only 44 at the time, and I was nervous in the ER, but my husband and I anniversary was coming up in that August, and I was reading about releasing things into the ocean, and we was going to Miami, and I was like, I was just gonna leave everything in Miami when we went on our anniversary. You were saying about saying no, and I just believe it's the reason for me being here. I believe God speaks in all different manners, any form, and this just confirmation for myself, but that I'm on the right track because I was saying when I was out in the ocean that I was just gonna leave everything there. And I mean, I went far. Yeah, I went so far in the ocean that my husband was like waving his hand back, like come back to shore. But I was like, no, because I had a mission. And I was
Yes.
determined to leave everything out there in the ocean. I said my prayer to the Lord, and I said, when I get back home, I just want to be free of everything. I don't want to be burned down. You don't want to be mean to your mom, but like, you do have to set limits. You have to set boundaries. And I
Yes.
wanted to stick to that without always having to feel bad about telling her no. So I just want to thank you for the teaching and the affirmations on tonight, and just tell somebody like when you really start putting effort into putting yourself first, that a lot of the burdens and everything will just release from you. I'll tell you this, um I got taken off of the blood pressure pills and everything once I finally started saying no and just started paying attention to myself, lost some weight, and just started really paying attention to me. So I just want to thank you for the teaching. I was a little bit nervous to get on here and talk, but I did want to tell you that I really appreciate the affirmations because I was like, I know the Lord is speaking, and He's speaking through you. I just want to say thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you, TK. Wow. Guys, you hear that? That right there in itself is a testimony. A testimony. Now we listen, if you didn't get anything from that, I don't know. Yes. And God does speak to us in different ways. In different ways. And I don't want anybody to have to get to the point, where it's like you're creating health issues or something comes up for us to realize that. So I think that's a good testimony that TK shared with us.
Wow, thank you so much, TK, for that. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. You guys, we just want to reiterate that this group is unlike any other group that you will ever be a part of. And all of you found your way here. You heard something that resonated with the light inside of you. Congratulate yourself for listening to your inner intuition.
Yes.
There is not a website that y'all could go to and be like, let me join this Purpose Pushers Academy. Y'all just randomly came across some girl on TikTok Live or on Instagram, and you was like, let me go, this sounds good. And you ended up here. It is no accident. There is no mistake. As Coach Q says, you're right where you need to be. You're on the right path. And as you're on this path, know that this is the path less taken. You're going to have your own family who won't support you as you're on this path, which is why we have this community. So when you feel like nobody gets you, nobody understands you, you thought you were going to get more support when you wrote your book or when you launched your online store, when you did this or that, you thought they would be happy. That is really when you get to see who loves you, who supports you, who's there for you. That's really when it comes out. And that is why this community is so important. So lock in, because every single person in here really and truly wants to see everybody else win. I believe that. Coach Q and I believe that. We put that out because we were just like all of you. We were givers. We would give from our heart, and our heart would get hurt every time. And we said, God, where are the people like us? We can't be by ourselves. Where are the people who genuinely give from their hearts? But when it's time for us to get it back, there is nothing for us, nothing. And here we are all here. So we are blessed just to be in your presence. So thank you. TK said, thank us, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work. But know that you have a family, you have a community, you have people here who can support you on those days when your own family or your own circle of friends won't. You can always come in the group and say, hey guys, I'm having a moment. I need to be vulnerable. I need to share. And we're going to hold space for you. So know that, Grace, you're not alone. If you start saying no to people and you're like, oh my God, my family is treating me poorly, you're talking about me, and that hurts on top of the hurt that you're already dealing with. A lot of you are grieving. You haven't even had time to grieve. And you're just trying to keep it together for everybody else.
Yeah.
That is too much pressure, guys.
Yes.
Allow yourself to release that. Allow yourself to release it because you're worthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing I'll add in there, you'll know when you're on the right path, the right track, because the people around you start changing. They'll start changing. Yeah. So I mean, listen, I know it takes work. I know it can be hard work. It can be hard work because we're not used to doing it. Anything that you're not used to doing, of course, it's hard work. But I would encourage you guys, like I said, to take a few minutes out of your day, whatever you need to do. I like journaling. I like breathing. I like deep breathing. I like meditation music. Whatever you need to do for you, take that time out to do it for you. Find healthy tools, techniques that work for you. Maybe, I don't know if you like comedy shows, take some time out and watch a comedy show. Or for those of you who, like things on social media, motivational speaking, whatever it takes.
Yes. Coach Q, Carlos just put something in the Purpose Pushers chat. Carlos, are you able to unmute yourself and share? It was really good.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt everybody. I put a little screenshot thing. It says November, a time to say no to people, places, and things that drain your energy.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
just kind of fit with what we were talking about right now, just learning how to say no in general.
Wow. That's good. That's good. No in November. Listen, I might need to jot that down and post that up somewhere. Put it on a t-shirt.
We know how to do that, right?
Yes. I like that. So thank you. I know some people, sometimes they're shy to share, or they're like, should I share? Should I not? And it's okay. But I believe getting it out helps. Whether you get it out talking to somebody, getting it out on paper, writing a letter to yourself, it helps to get it out. Because when we stuff and store our emotions, that's how we end up getting sick. Stress. And stress is a beast. Stress can really, really do some damage to us. And for those of you who believe in having a therapist, I would support you in getting a therapist. For those of you who believe in it, some people don't, and that's okay. But anybody that you can find, that you trust, that you can talk to, so that you're not holding all of that stuff on the inside of you. So that's all I have.
Leah says she feels so relieved to be able to get this out.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
You guys, Coach Q. Give it up for Coach Q.
Thank you.
Any final words, Coach
Thank
Q? What
you.
is their
Thank you.
homework? What is their homework?
So their homework is going to be, for those of you who I gave affirmations to that participated, I want you to write your affirmations 7 times per day for 7 days. 7 times 7. I think the number 7 is significant. I think the number of 7 represents completion, with many other meanings, but completion, something about the number 7 with completion. So you're going to write your affirmation again 7 times every day for 7 days. And I don't want you to type it. I want you to actually write it. And for the rest of the class, I love and approve of myself as I am. That's for everybody. I love and approve of myself as I am. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to write that 7 times for 7 days.
And can we add to that, Coach Q, for the rest of the class?
Yes.
I love the part that you gave Grace. It is safe for me to say no. I love and approve of myself as I am, and it is safe for me to say no.
Yes.
And you guys, when you go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just wondering if it was possible to add another one to your guys, because I do resonate with what you're saying. I think mine's is more so accepting no, how best way to go about that throughout the journey that we're taking.
Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate, Amber?
I've been a person that and within my family is more of like the black sheep. So when people see the greatness that I do have, because they don't resonate with me or the things that I do, they tend to say no to the interest of what I'm putting out there for my life. I've been a fashion designer before and had bad experience with that because of jealousy. So when people are seeing the things that I actually do and put out there in the world of creativity, my biggest issue is feeling that I'm capable for greatness because of others close to me putting it down. So accepting that no in life.
Mm-hmm.
So what I hear you saying is how to deal with rejection.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because a no for me, and I can relate, I can resonate. I feel like I'm being rejected.
Right.
Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like right on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean,
so
I've come from a family of even my kids are very talented, and their aunt and uncles will be like, they'll look at their items that they make, and because they feel they're not talented enough, they'll go and tell them, oh, I wouldn't even sell it for $1 type thing.
Projecting.
Yeah.
Projecting their insecurities onto you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So what I would give to you, Amber, is just like Coach B said, projecting. Right? You know, they reject you because they reject themselves. They reject themselves. That's why. So I want you to feel secure. Get to a place where you feel secure in who you are. And I also think that affirmation of I love and approve of myself as I am. because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. I am secure in being who I am. I am secure in being who I am.
And there is another one, you know, a lot of this does stem back to our self-worth. You know,
Yeah.
I am worthy of the success that I desire.
Yes.
I am worthy of the success that I desire. Every single person in here, you know, you're meant for more. Am I right or am I right? You know you're meant for more. But so many times we dim our lights because we're afraid to shine too bright, because what if they don't like it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What if the
That's
people
good.
around me have a problem with it?
That's
Coach Q
good.
and I deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
And now when we identify that that's what it is, it don't even faze me because I am secure in who I am and I am worthy of the success I desire. God placed something in each and every one of you, whatever religious belief you have, that higher power that called you forth onto this planet, you have a purpose. And your purpose is not to please these people.
No.
Your purpose is to be about the business of doing the thing that you've been placed on this planet to do. So who cares if they don't like you? Because you're going to leave this life empty, because you have given all the gifts, all the talents out to the world, because that's what you're supposed to do. But you will live a fulfilled life because you are tapping into your purpose. You're tapping into the truth of who you are. And that scares people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you allow yourself to show up and be all that you have been called to be and rise up, you are giving other people permission to do the same. Someone needs to see your light. Someone needs to see you shining.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to help inspire so many people.
Yeah.
So you have to overlook the naysayers, overlook the family who act like they don't love you, act like they don't see you, and know that that is their own personal problem.
Mm-hmm.
Keep shining your light and don't you dim it for no one.
Nobody.
Coach Q.
Listen, your Coach Q has another side. Okay. Because I like to set people free. Okay. I set you free to go find yourself. You don't reject me, you reject you. Okay. But that's the other side that likes to come out. So with that being said, Amber, yes, when you are secure in who you are, there's nothing that anybody can say or do that will stop you. When you learn to love and approve of yourself, you don't worry about the approval of other people. God already approves of you. God already validated you. And maybe that's just not your tribe, because sometimes we do lose people along the way. Family, friends, whoever. God will replenish and restore the people that you need to be around. And where you're rejected, somebody somewhere approves of you, because somebody somewhere needs to hear from you. And like Coach B said, they need to see your light. You are the light. You are the gift. And that's for everybody. That's for everybody in here.
That's good. Everybody say, I am a gift.
I am
Speak
a
loud and
gift.
say it proud. I am a gift.
I am a gift.
I
Yes.
am a gift.
I am a gift. And not just I am a gift, I am the gift. What?
I
Yeah.
am the gift.
You are.
I
Right.
am the gift. My
Mm.
presence is a present.
Absolutely. Oh, that's good. I like that.
You don't want to be in my presence? That's your loss, because my presence is a present.
Absolutely.
Because you are the gift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you best
Cervella
believe
says
it.
restored and replenished.
Yes, yes. And the people who, guys, who are against us, the people who reject us, the people who have a problem with us, they're watching, they're looking, because they want some of it.
And the crazy things, right? Coach Q and I have experienced this. The same people, the same ones who look down on you and try to dim your light, they will come back around and try to stand in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll try to come back around and be like, oh, well, how did you do that? How did you do this? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Really? Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You were just being so negative and talking about me behind my back. Yes, it got back to me, but oh, now you want to come and ask me how I wrote my book? Really? You want to come and ask me how I launched my own product line? Why I got my, how am I becoming so successful now? Oh, but you were just talking about me 3 months ago.
Yeah,
But
because they're watching.
We shine love, right? We show love. We show grace.
Yeah. Or not. I send them.
Coach, you said or not. Keep it moving.
God bless you. Yeah. That's one of my favorite. God bless you. I don't think I'm the one for you. But I set you free to find the answers because it's not here, remember? So.
That part.
Yeah. But no, guys, in all honesty, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. And you were called on purpose, for purpose, and with purpose. And give yourself permission to fulfill your purpose. You're all beautiful beings. There's nothing wrong with you. Yes, we all make mistakes. We go through life. We have shortcomings, but there is nothing wrong with you. God loves and approves of you, just as you are.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Wow. Yo, what did you guys think of that session?
I loved it. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
So much, Q.
It was amazing. Thank you.
Inspiring.
I like
It was needed.
When God loves and approves of you. That is awesome.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both so much.
Thank you guys.
Elizabeth
Because y'all are
said,
pushing.
go ahead, Coach.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm seeing some comments in the chat. Listen, y'all are pushing me and Coach B into our greater purpose. Just like we're pushing y'all, y'all are pushing us as well. This wasn't easy for us. We just knew that we had a heart to help people. We didn't know what it looked like. We didn't know how it was going to come. And that's not for us to figure out. That's not for you to figure out. When you surrender and you say yes to the process, God will put the people, the places, and the things in place for you.
That was good. Say that again.
When you surrender and say yes, God will put the people, the places, and the things in place for you to get you to that next level.
Amen to that.
So what does that say? You're not alone. 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 On any day of the week, you're not alone. You might feel lonely, but you are not alone.
Yes. Yes.
All right. The chat is lighting up. Shavella said, she caught me by surprise. Coach Q said, okay, we're going to grant grace or not. PPA, Jean says, it's such an amazing gift. 2025 is going to be wonderful. Absolutely. Elizabeth says, church therapy. TK says, amen. Gloria says, thank you, needed this. Shavella says, is the PPA conference 2025 coming, please? She said, we need this. All right, you guys. We appreciate you guys staying as long as you did. I know this goes over our time, but this truly is the heart of our program, because we cannot push you into purpose or push you into that next level if you're allowing your own negativity to hold you back. If you're allowing the self-sabotage to rule and run your life, we can't push you there. It's like pushing a rock. We need you to participate with us as we're pushing you into the direction of your purpose. So let go of all those things, all the negativity, and allow yourself to surrender. Just surrender. Surrender to whatever that thing is. Everybody's purpose in here is different. We don't know what your purpose is, but our goal is to support you on your way to it if you haven't found it yet. So just allow yourself to surrender. Can we get everybody in here to say, I surrender?
I surrender.
Y'all are on mute.
I surrender.
I surrender.
I surrender.
I surrender.
I surrender.
Yes.
All right, guys. Coach Q, anything we need to add before we end this amazing session tonight?
I just want to tell them, when you're doing your homework, take a picture of it and post it in the group, in the Telegram group.
Thank you. Yes. So the way you're going to submit your homework, your writing, for your affirmations. You're going to write them 7 times every day. You can do morning or night, whatever works for you. And then you're going to take your phone, just put, the papers on your desktop, snap a picture, and then you're going to post that in the chat every night. Hey coaches, this is my homework. You guys got it?
Can someone just put what that exactly is again in the chat? I didn't jot
So
that
you're going to
down.
write whichever affirmation resonated for you. So some people were able to come up and talk directly, but if you didn't get a chance to speak, yes.
Okay.
So whichever one really resonated for you, you're going to write that 7 times.
Okay.
Every day.
I wrote them all down.
She said, yeah, some of y'all gonna be writing everything.
I know, I wrote them all down too.
And I feel put them on my,
Like,
I have a
which
big
one?
old prayer board on the wall right there. So I'm going to add it over there in my new section. So
Awesome. Yes. Ophelia says, I love and approve of myself. This is one that everybody can write. I love and approve of myself as I am, and it is safe for me to say no.
That's the one everybody should be writing.
Yes. Okay. Coach Q wants everybody to write that one. But if you have any others that resonated for you, write them. It's only going to help you guys. And it's not punishment. So people are like, well, why I gotta write? Because it's really helping. Who was that said talked about the subconscious? That's a subconscious part of your mind, Stacy. Yes. Tapping into that subconscious part of your mind. That's why she wants you to physically write it. Because as you're writing, things are going to come up from your childhood. Things are going to come up from people who said things to you. Things are going to come up from a person, from a teacher or a mom. Somebody said something and you're like, oh my God, I forgot that even happened, because you're tapping into that part of your subconscious. Lanita's question for the ones that are not doing the coloring book, storybook, do we still do the same homework? I'm gonna have Lanita send me a DM or send me a DM in the Purpose Pushers chat, because I'm gonna send you a separate. We didn't get to the novels tonight, so I'll send you a separate video, kind of walking you through what to do if you're doing a novel or a memoir, since we didn't get to it tonight. And those of you who are watching in the replay, if you are doing a novel, we didn't get to cover that tonight, so send me a DM in the Purpose Pushers chat, and then we'll get you a tutorial on how to write your novels. Does that sound good, Lanita? Good night, Shabella.
Good night.
All right. Well, guys, that's our time. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you for allowing yourself to be a part of this process and committing to it and being dedicated to it and being vulnerable. We appreciate you. We are people from all over the world joining in and just forming this beautiful family and this beautiful support space for each other. And it's just amazing to see it all come together. So as we end, remember to love on the people you love, because life is short. Remember to forgive the people you need to forgive, because forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And remember to love you, because you're worthy and you're good enough. And it is safe for you to say no. All right, until next time, live your purpose, pursue your passion, and be the prosperous beings you were born to be. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Coach Q?
Good night.
Good night.
Hi.
Have a good night.
Coach Q, I just have a question for you.
Yes.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind if I could